The Nigerian legislature takes a bold step towards greater accountability and democratic development. The National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILDS, has officially inaugurated its Post-Legislative Scrutiny (PLS) unit, a landmark initiative aimed at assessing the real-world impact of laws passed in Nigeria. Mavis Akor reports on this significant development and its potential to transform governance across the country.
In a move described as a milestone for legislative governance in Nigeria, the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies (NILDS) has unveiled its Post-Legislative Scrutiny (PLS) unit. Speaking at the inauguration in Abuja, Professor Abubakar Suleiman, Director General of NILDS, emphasized the unit's critical role in ensuring that the laws enacted by policymakers translate into tangible benefits for citizens. He noted that while passing bills is a core legislative function, it's the actual implementation and societal impact of these laws that truly matter. This, he said, is where the PLS unit steps in to evaluate whether laws achieve their intended social and economic objectives.
These days, we're interested in how many bills passed, how many are accepted, but we do little about the impact of those laws on Nigerian people. The last assembly, there are so many bills that were rushed into being accepted, enacted, passed into law. But one thing we never do as a people, and I want to believe this will do, is to critically look into all these laws. The impact so far. We talk of PIA, we talk of NC bills, acts. All these bills are there. We talk of the free thing, it is to do business. But the question we don't ask ourselves is, okay, the last 1.5 years of those laws, how are they impacted on Nigerian people?
This initiative, in collaboration with Westminster Foundation for Democracy, has already begun to bear fruit. Training programs for clerks, lawmakers, and legislative officers across the country have laid the groundwork for institutionalizing PLS at both federal and state levels. Notably, Oyo State has adopted a framework for establishing its own PLS unit, with plans to implement it in early 2025.
Also, the framework for establishing the PLS unit in the House was also adopted by lawmakers during a validation exercise with a potential timeline of actualizing this in January year 2025. Similarly, the PLS unit will be set up in the Ministry of Justice to interface with the State Assembly. This is encouraging and a potent signal that PLS will take root in Nigeria for more effective legislative and democratic development.
Professor Suleiman called on the newly commissioned staff of the PLS unit to approach their roles with sense of national duty, positioning NILDS as a legislative think tank committed to driving impactful governance. Meanwhile, other stakeholders spoke on the importance of PLS.
PLS is a method through which our legislature assesses the implementation as well as the impact of law it has made or it has passed in order to take appropriate action.
One thing I think we have not stressed enough when we have been talking about PLS is that it is not only a tool to measure the impact of laws, whether they are working as intended, but also to study the unintended consequences, of laws that are passed. Yesterday we were here brainstorming about the tax reforms, very noble policy and all of that. But when it is implemented, is that going to be the way it's going to work? That's what PLS, it does.
The inauguration of the Post-Legislative Scrutiny units at NILDS marks a significant stride towards holding the government accountable for the real-life impact of its laws. As this process takes root across Nigeria, it promises to enhance democratic governance and improve the lives of ordinary citizens. The question remains, how soon Will other states follow Oyo's example and adopt this transformative initiative? From the nation's capital,